Okay, so I'm going to start us off with a little bit of a warm-up. So I'm going to sit back onto your heels and reach your hands all the way up towards the top end of your mat. And then gently starting to pull your body along the ground, staying close to the floor, drawing down the elbows to your waist and lifting your chin. And then we'll draw up into a cat stretch, pulling up through the shoulders and the back, and looking up towards your navel. And then taking your head and your tailbone away and sitting back to your heels. And again, let's draw the body to pull up and along the ground, rolling down the shoulders, coming up again into your little cat stretch, round up through the shoulders and the back. Then taking the head and the tailbone away and sitting back down upon your heels. And again, let's bring the body to pull up and through. Curling the toes now, sending the hips away and drawing your head down through your arms. Coming forwards into a plank, looking slightly ahead, and then bending with your knees and sitting back to heels. And again, draw the body to pull up and through. And then curling the toes, head down, bottom up. Draw forwards into a plank, and then bending with your knees and sitting back to your heels. Again, let's bring the body to pull up and through, rolling down the shoulders, curling the toes, easing on out into your downward dog. Draw forwards to a high plank, and then bending with your knees and sitting on back. Couple more times. But if at any point you just want to take a little break from anything that we're doing, push out into a downward dog. Draw forwards to a plank, and then bending your knees and sitting on back. And one more time, drawing the body up. And let's curl the toes, staying in the down dog this time and walking it from one foot to the other. So we're just drawing down one side of your body and then the other. Spreading fingers nice and wide to the floor. And then working your hips a little side to side. Okay, now let's come back down upon your knees. And if we could place the right foot forwards. And just taking down your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Bring your left arm up and take a little bit of a stretch coming up and over. Bring back down your hand, place it to the floor, curl the toes and lift the back knee up off the ground, raising your right arm, looking on up. And as always, you could stay as is, or you could start to open your front foot and you could go to the outside edge of your back foot and go a little bit deeper. Coming all the way back round. Let's let the knee back down upon the ground, raising both of your arms. And can we take the right hand back behind the left and just take it into a little bit of a shoulder girdle stretch. Letting your arms all of the way back down again. We'll move back onto that back knee and draw your toes back and coming into a calf and hamstring stretch. So see how it feels. If you've got a tightness behind the knee, which is very uncomfortable, keep your knee a little bent. If we can arch through the spine, okay, we can make the back line a little bit flatter. What you're going to find then is get a little bit more stretch into the hamstrings. You're starting to get that re-education of the lower back posture. And maybe a little bit more calf stretch if the toes can be pulled back. And then let's draw the body back on up. Coming around onto your knees. Raising both of your arms. Take a deep breath in. And on your out breath, activate the waist. Press the hips away from you. And draw your arms a little bit further out and away from you. Bringing it back up, deep breath in, breathing out, activate your waist, take that nice long stretch into the side of your body. And breathing in, coming back up, breathing out, letting your arms down. We'll step forwards with the left foot. And if we can just take down left hand to the outside of your foot, raising right arm, drawing it up and over, as if you've just kind of thrown a ball over your shoulder. And then take back down your right hand, curl the toes and lift up your back knee, raising your left arm, looking on up. And again, either stay, this is enough today, or you enjoy this stretch in particular, or take your foot to turn open and go to the outside edge of your back foot, opening back a little bit more. And coming all of the way back round, letting your knee back down upon the floor. Raising both of your arms, so we're going to a deeper hip flexor stretch. Left hand coming back behind the right, if you can wrist wrap as well. And then we get the shoulder girdle stretch as well. And then letting your arms all the way back down. Moving back onto your back knee. Drawing your toes back. So we have the toes going vertically if possible, all right? But again, we work through the bits that we can hold well today. If we can, a little bit more re-education in that lower back region. Draw back the shoulders, press from the center of your chest. And then gently bring it back on. And we'll come around onto your back. And if we can place the feet flat to the floor, bring your heels towards you so they're in touching distance, and just set your feet up, okay? Your legs up so that they're parallel. And then we just want to again release and adjust the body, all right? So noticing how your body is today. So if we start off by lowering the back down upon the floor, take your back to imprint. And then let your back lift up and draw away from the ground. And again, taking your lower back down towards the floor, find the imprint of your back. And then letting your back lift up and draw away from the floor. And just doing that a few times, noticing how your back responds to that very light rocking of imprint. And then coming out to neutral. Bring the shoulders up and around by your ears and roll them down. Again, squish them up, roll them down, and then start to walk them down and away from your ears. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose, and then as you breathe out through your mouth, blowing the breath out with a little energy. As you breathe in, letting your ribs widen to the side and the back of the body. As you breathe out, draw the navel back to the spine, draw up on the pelvic floor and seek out that core strength energy. So on your in-breath, the ribs are widening. When you breathe out through your mouth, as if you're blowing out a candle, draw the navel back to the spine and connect with your core. Again, deep breath in, fill up the lung space. And then as you breathe out, a little bit of energy to the out breath. And as you breathe out, drawing up behind the surface muscles and engaging with the core. Alright, now let's start us off today with the shoulder bridge. So you can take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, work your lower back upon the floor, start to peel the back away from the ground, travel all of the way up upon your upper back. Take a breath in, and then breathing out, we'll lower the back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, imprint, and back to neutral. Again, breathing in, breathing out to imprint your lower back, peel the spine away from the floor, try not to clench your buttocks, breathing in, and then breathing out to lower your back down, vertebrae after vertebrae, imprint, and back to neutral. Again, breathing in, breathing out, engage your core, ripple the back up and away from the floor. Breathing in, and breathing out as you lower your back down. And today I'm going to work in your arms as well into this posture. You don't have to, so see how you feel as we go through. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, rippling your back up and away from the ground. Breathing in to raise both of your arms. And then breathing out, engaging your core as you take your arms back. Breathing in as you raise your arms back up again. And then breathing out to lower your arms and your back slowly back down to the floor. Breathing in. As you breathe out, imprinting the back and peeling the back away from the ground. Breathing in to softly raise your arms. Breathing out, engaging the core as you take your arms back. Breathing in as you raise your arms back up again. And then breathing out to lower your back all the way back down to the ground. Again, breathing in, breathing out as you ripple your back up and away from the ground. Breathing in as you raise both of your arms. Breathing out, engaging with your core as you take your arms backwards. Breathing in to raise your arms back up again. And breathing out to lower your back and your arms all of the way back down. One more time. Breathing in and breathing out to ripple your back up and away from the ground. Breathing in as we raise both of your arms. Breathing out, engaging the core as you take your arms back. Breathing in as you raise your arms back up again. And breathing out to lower all of the way back down. Now let's from here, bring the hands to come back behind your head, opening your elbows nice and wide. As you breathe in through your nose, nod the chin. And as you breathe out through your mouth, raising your upper body. Breathing in through your nose to stay, and then breathing out through your mouth, drawing the navel to the spine as you lower. So coming into your basic ab prep, breathing in, nod the chin. As you raise your upper body, keep a neutral spine and engage with your core as you lift. Breathing in to stay, and then breathing out, engaging with your core as you lower. So I'm going to work legs in as well to this one today. You don't have to. Breathing in, nod the chin. As you breathe out, raise your upper body. If it feels good to, extend your right leg and hover it an inch from the floor. Breathing in to stay. And then breathing out as you draw that leg back in, lowering the chest back down. Breathing in to nod the chin. Breathing out to extend your left leg and raise your upper body. Breathing in through your nose to stay. And breathing out, engaging your core as you lower back to the ground. Breathing in, nod the chin. Breathing out. Now extending your right leg, and if you feel really good today, lift up your opposite foot also. Breathing in to stay. Breathing out, foot back down, leg drawing back on in. Breathing in, nod the chin. Breathing out, extending left leg, and if you can, also raising your right foot, pointing your toes down. Breathing in, stay. Breathing out, foot back down, leg drawing back on in. One more set. Breathing in, nod the chin. Breathing out, extending out your right leg, lifting your left if you can. Breathing in and breathing out. Foot back down, leg drawing back on in. Breathing in to nod the chin. Breathing out to extend out your left leg, raising your right if you can. Breathing in to stay. Then breathing out, foot back down, leg back on in and lower. Now carefully, rolling yourself over to one side, and we'll come back up and around onto your knees. I'm going to take us up into plank. So we're going to be working down on your forearms. We're going to go up for a 20 breath hold today. All right, we're moving it up a little bit. As always, you can do the whole thing today on your knees. You don't have to be up on your toes. And I need you to stop and take a break if it gets too much. All right, if you feel that you're just not holding the same quality any longer, just take a little break on it. So I'm going to slide the forearms down and along the floor. Elbows are in alignment with your shoulders, as are your wrists. Moving your knees back, okay, so that your lower back is nice and flat, okay, so your hips are not higher than your shoulders. So you could remain here, or we could curl the toes and push out through with your legs. Pull up on your bottom rib and you're breathing, nice strong breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Really pulling up into your core. Breathe in and out. 3. In and out. 4. Try and squeeze the back side a little. In, out. 5. In, out. 6. In, out. 7. In, out. 8. In, out. 9. In, out. 10. In, out. 11. In, out. 12. In, out. 13. In, out. 14. In, out. 15. In, out. 16. In, out. 17. In, out. 18. In, out. 19. And in, out. 20. All right, lower yourself all of the way back down. Okay, now, I'm going to take a little bit of a stretch with the shoulders before we move on. So I'm going to stretch the arms out and along the floor. And I'm going to keep one palm flat down. I'm going to use the one that's closest to you. So I'm going to roll onto that shoulder and then put my knees up. Now your head can either remain on the floor, or you can take the head off the ground and you could take your other arm to the ceiling. If any of that does not feel good for you though today, take it back to where it does feel okay. So the arm doesn't need to be up, you can keep it down. And if it gets a little bit too much with your arm trapped underneath, it's quite a big stretch, just come away from it. Alright, now I'm going to bring us all the way around to the other side. Stretching your arm along the floor, gently rolling upon it. Knees are tucking in. Opposite arm can come up if that feels okay. Alright, now coming all of the way back round. Now I'm going to take us up into breaststroke. What I'm going to work with you though today is also with your band or your scarf, whatever you've got. So it doesn't have to be particularly stretchy, but we're going to be lifting it today. So I'm going to take it to the top end of my mat. Alright, so I'm not going to use it yet. Alright, I'm going to be using it after we've done half of the breaststroke work. And then we're going to be lifting alternating palms, and then ultimately, if we can, both arms together. And we're lifting on a kind of Y-shaped position with the arms. All right, but again, we'll talk it through as we get there. So turn your feet in towards each other and try and relax down the lower end of your body. Letting your arms come down by your side. And we'll start here by breathing in to roll back both shoulders. As you breathe breathe out, engage your core and lift to hover. Breathing in to stay, and then breathing out as you lower and let your shoulders draw down to the ground. Breathing in to peel back both shoulders. Breathing out as you draw the navel back to the spine and raise your upper body. Breathing in to stay, and then breathing out as you lower, shoulders down, looking down to the ground all of the way through. Breathing in, rolling back the shoulders. Breathing out to engage the core to lift. Breathing in to stay, and then breathing out to lower and shoulders back onto the floor. Breathing in, peel back your shoulders. As you lift, try and draw your belly away from the ground. Keep the core locked on, breathe in. And then as you lower, keep the belly pulled up. Release the shoulders and let go of the core at the bottom. Couple more. Breathing in to peel back both shoulders. Breathing out to engage the core to lift. Breathing in to stay. And breathing out as you lower all of the way back down. One more time. Breathing in, roll back shoulders. Breathing out to engage the core to lift. Breathing in. And then breathing out to lower all of the way back down. Okay. Now both arms coming up. So single palms to begin with. So as we raise one palm from the floor, breathing out, lifting your arm so it's in alignment with your ear, and then slowly drawing back. Raising the other palm, breathing out, and breathing into lower. All right, keep going if you can. So what I always say with this one, if when you raise your arm, you feel that maybe your buttocks or your legs start to try and lift off from the ground, maybe the lower back is taking a lot of this tension, then certainly don't go any further than a single arm raise. We want it to become more localized, so we feel it's working around the upper back and the upper part of your arm, rather than transferring all the way down into your lower back. All right, so depending on where your strengths are today, how your posture is, it will determine on how easy this is for you today. All right, so if it is easy, I can move you on. So moving on to holding the band. So we go in a kind of just a natural Y shape. The forehead is going to stay attached to the ground. And as we raise both of the arms, breathing out and breathing into lower. Breathing out to lift and breathing into lower. And if you do have something that's a little bit stretchy and you do want to work further into your shoulders, pull apart a little and make the Y shape a little bit wider. All right, but again, that's going to be a little bit harder. So if it's enough already lifting the band, don't worry about trying to do anything else with it. All right, but some people are quite strong in this area, so you might feel that you can do that. Breathing out to lift and breathing into lower. Okay, 2 more if you can. And releasing back down. Okay. Now I'm just going to take in a little bit of a stretch for your quad whilst we're here. Now I've got a little bit of a variation on this for you today. So taking the opposite hand up, so it's reaching away from you. And you can either leave it with just lifting the thigh, if you can, off the floor a little, or we could come into a half bow. So if we went into half bow, this is going to bring your back strength in a bit more. So we would lift up the left hand and we would lift up the left foot. So we come up a little higher. But it's up to you, you don't have to do this. You're going to feel your glutes working hard on the leg that you've just lifted. Then slowly lower it back down. Swapping your legs over. So drawing in, hand around the ankle or the foot. Lift the leg a little, the knee a little if you can to gain that better quad stretch. Alright, if you've got all of that and it's still working well for you, raise the opposite arm, the opposite leg, and then you're coming into like a half bow. Releasing everything back down. Okay, coming up onto your hands and knees. And can we just take the fingers off the sides of the mat? Alright, so coming into Exaggerated Cat Stretch now. I'm going to draw the chest downwards towards the floor between your arms. And then as we draw up, rounding the spine. Now I'm up onto my fingertips, which may not be to everybody's taste, okay? Coming down again. If it gets too much, put your hands flat on the floor. It's just on the fingertips, we gain a bit more range. So coming up into that extended cat stretch, lifting up through the shoulders. So again, when we come down, we open up pectoral muscles, so the chest gets a little bit of an open up. And then as we come up, rounding the spine and pulling away. One more time. Coming on down. And then pulling on up through the shoulders and the back. Alright, coming around to a seated position for me, please. So I'm going to work into your roll back. If you have the band and you want to use it, utilize it for your roll back, you could. A scarf would do the same thing too. Alright, so don't worry if you haven't got anything like this. It doesn't really matter. Or even if you've got a short band, it will do the same thing. So taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, draw the navel back to the spine, curve your lumbar spine and go back to about halfway. Breathing in, and then breathing out, drawing your body up and sitting up nice and tall. Good. And again, breathing in, as you go back, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So if halfway is enough, carry on. If you're not using the band, okay, absolutely, the hands are on your thighs. Breathing in, and as you go back, if you feel okay with it, maybe you go a little bit lower, you imprint the back. Shoulder blades touch down, breathing in, and then breathing out to slowly draw your body up to a nice tall seated position. You do not have to get to the floor though. Deep breath in. If you feel that halfway is plenty, stay at halfway for me. Breathing in and breathing out. Now for those of you with an extra long band, for those of you who want to challenge this a bit more, go all the way out to the ends of your band, and then as you go back, nice and slowly. Breathing in, breathing out, coming all the way up and sitting up nice and tall. So that's one thing that you can do. Again, for those of you not using the band, one hand on your shoulder, okay? Then as you go down, breathing out, breathing in at the bottom, and breathing out. Drawing all of the way back up, then swapping your hand over. Breathing in, and then breathing out. Whatever you're doing, we want to take it nice and slowly, and really consider abdominals working, hip flexors, trying to work through the whole of the back. So this is all about trying to improve that range of motion of your lower back's movement, all right, so that your back does make that imprint, that you're in control of it. So when we come to the top, we want the ability to be able to draw up into a neutral in our seated position, okay, rather than staying in the imprint. So it's the ability, or training the body to have the ability to do both, all right? Finishing off your last one. work for the upper back of your arms. So I've got my hands going back behind me, my knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. I'm going to do two versions of work for your triceps. As we dip, breathing in, the elbows go back. As we push forwards, breathing out, we're lifting from the center of your chest. As we dip back, breathing in. And then as we push the chest forwards, breathing out. And again, as we dip back, breathing in. And then as we push on up, breathing out. So if that is plenty, do a couple, take a break if you need to. Second layer, okay? Hands facing in towards you, opening your chest, engaging your core, then breathe out to lift and point your toes upon the floor, and breathing in to lower. So on this pivot, it may be a little bit more challenging, all right? You can't decide so much as into how much energy you're going to put into it. You just need to put it all in, okay, to lift. And like I say, we do look to try and use the whole of the back of the body. So you want to squeeze the back side and press through the leg line. So eventually that you get the toes down upon the floor. So on this one, you're lifting, breathing out into lower, but you could be dipping. All right, two more. And lower, one more. And relax. All right, have a little break. Now, sitting any way you like. Now, I'm going to go back into what we did on Wednesday last week. So we did a little bit of it's like going into the stretch for the triceps, but not quite. And what in fact it does is really get the muscles loosened off, the shoulders, okay, as well as the arms. I'm going to turn my back to you so that you can see what I'm doing with my arms. So I'm going to go back as if I was about to reach my fingers and then change. All right, so one side you're going to find is easier than the other. All right, but it doesn't mean that we have to find the fingers. I don't want you to kind of stop in between. I want you to just keep moving and out, keep moving and out, and back. Right, and if you're like me, you start trying to move your head out of the way, all right? Try not to move your head out of the way, all right? So you may need to go a little bit slower if that's what you've been doing. So trying to stay up. And like I say, you'll find one way is really easy and the other way feels more difficult. All right, such is life, hey? Tapping back and in. Good, couple more. This is good for our range of motion. All right, now we're going to come into the stretch. All right, so take up probably your worst arm. The arm that didn't really want to do anything. All right, so take a hold of the elbow and just gently press it downwards. And again, like I say, this could be enough today. If when you come to a seated position, your head wants to come forwards like this, try maybe sitting with your legs out like a mermaid. All right, that's quite nice. Or sitting on your heels. All right, so you can sit with your knees slightly open. Sitting on your ball or sitting on a cushion is also quite nice. All right, and then again, if it's easy for you, find your fingers. All right, let's swap it on over. So a little bit of assistance. That's it, try not to make your head go forwards. And then if it's okay, maybe find your fingers. All right, now let it go. The shoulders a little bit of a release out. Let me bring you around onto your side. Okay, today. So I'd like to lift single leg raise, double leg lift, and then I'm going to do that version where we kind of almost levitate off the ground. But I'm going to go at that today as well, all right? So let's come around onto the side of your body. lengthen along the floor, stack up your hips, half clench your buttocks, and then draw your ribs down into your body. That top shoulder, bring it away from your ears. As you raise the top leg, breathing out, and as you lower, breathing in. As you lift the leg up, breathe out, engage the core, and breathe in as you lower. Again, breathing out, let's lift, breathing in to lower. Again, breathing out, extend, in to lower. Again, breathing out, lift, and lower. Okay, now the double leg. So seal the feet together, breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Again, breathing out, we're floating and lower. Now, if you can do this without support, you could maybe go just to one finger in front of you, or you could bring your hand out and along by your thigh. So again, as you lift, breathing out, sending the legs away, breathing in. Try and again, really use the core as your center point. So use the core to stop you from wobbling forwards or backwards. Breathing out and in. Now you can do a couple more of those, or I'm going to take it up to one more layer. Now with this next layer, we actually lift the legs in a different direction. So I'm going to bring the legs up on a diagonal, coming up, and then as we come back out, not quite touching the floor, but floating out to the side. All right, so as we come up, breathing out, breathing in, and coming back out. All right, if your balance is good with this one, we can lift and reach towards the foot, and then we take the arm out to the side. So we lift, breathing out, breathing in, out to the side. Breathing out, engage the core, breathing in, out to the side. And again, breathing out and breathing in. Last one, whichever one you're doing today. And breathing in. All right, swing it around. We're going to do the other side straight off. Let's lengthen all the way out and along the floor. Stack up your hips, point through your toes. Take your arm so that it aligns with your ear, if you can. And as you raise the top leg, breathing out and breathing in as you lower. And again, when you take that leg away, really work into range of motion here. Hip all the way around into glute medius, okay, the upper back region of your buttock. It's a strengthener for that area. Breathing out to lift, breathing into lower. Really try and again, take that connection with your core so we don't feel tempted just to use the back. Breathing out to lift, into lower. All right, now we're going to get ready for double leg lift. Press the feet together, breathing out, raising both legs, breathing into lower. Breathing out, engaging the core into lower. So you might be going to one finger to give you support. You might be able to take your hand support away and lower. As you lift, breathing out, in as you lower. Again, breathing out to float, into lower. Really go deep into the core center. Alright, so you can do another couple of these. If you tried up on the elbow today, bring the elbow beneath your shoulder. Alright, and then as we take the legs up, they go up at a slight diagonal away from you, and then they come back out and you're not quite touching the floor when you come down. So you're lifting, breathing out, and then as you come back out, facing the front. If you don't need the hand, bring it up, and lift, reach towards your foot. As you come back out, take that hand along by your thigh. Breathing out to lift, breathing in. And just keeping the chest nice and open. Breathing out, lift, breathing in to open back. And again, breathing out, lift. Breathing in, opening back. Couple more if you can. Engage the core. Breathing in, opening back. One more up. And in, opening back. Alright. Come around onto your back for me. And we're going to come up into your 100. So working on your stamina, okay, your strength here. So just working your lower back in and out of neutral. Find that you've got a neutral back. And then when we bring the legs up, one and then the other, if you're having any treatment on your neck, or if your neck really does not enjoy being held above the ground, put a little cushion behind your head so that your neck can relax. Sometimes when your head's flat on the floor, this gap behind the neck is a little bit too extreme. All right, so I would just put the head just slightly off the ground. If you're happy to support it, fingers back behind the head. Now for some of you, if your hamstrings are very open, taking the legs out straight will be wonderful. You can do that. And some of you won't need to support the neck, in which case you're patting the air by your side. Now I want you to, if you can, shut your eyes, go inside, focus that as you breathe in, your ribs widen. As you breathe out, you're engaging with your core and you're feeling like you're squeezing out a little bit of a sponge inside of your body. So you're really pulling and clenching the core center. And we're going with 30, 33, 34, 5, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 3, 44, 45, 46, 7, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 3, 54, 55, 56, 7, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 3, 64, 65, 66, 7, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 3, 74, 75, 6, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 3, 84, 85, 86, 7, 88, 89, 90, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bend your knees and lower your head, neck and shoulders. Take your arms to come flat along the floor for me. And then just circle the knees. And just go in for a little bit of an imprint. And then just massage out the lower back. Also, you're giving yourself a little stretch through the belly. And then take the knees around the other way. Okay, now I'm going to touch on working the abdominals from lower to upwards next. And I'm going to give us 3 different versions to have a go at. All of the exercises are similar in that they're using the muscles from the abdominals lower to upwards. So we're going to have heel dig, we're going to work into a baby imprint, and then we're going to work into the rollover if you feel that that's appropriate for your practice today. So I'm bringing both of the feet up, flexing the feet, and I've got a neutral back. Placing both of your hands upon your belly, nice and lightly. Now as you lower a heel downwards, breathe out, engage your core, and press the heel away from you. Breathe in, draw it back up. Change over, breathe out, draw the navel to the spine, lower the heel, breathing in. So this position, it originates from the hip flexor and it resists. Okay, so we take it nice and slowly and we want to push the leg away from us as if we're pushing our heels down through something, maybe some sand or, you know, really sort of digging away rather than just moving the leg up and down. Now, the second posture is the imprint. Okay, so we touched on this earlier, but with your feet off the floor it's going to be harder. So I'm going to take also the hands off the floor as well. And as we work the lower back upon the floor, breathing out, the hips lift a little, and then breathing into lower. But what we're doing is lifting the hips by using the abdominal strength, and we're not swinging the legs. All right, because as we know, if we give them a little bit of power, the legs will certainly get off the floor, but we want to make the abdominals do the job. So you're breathing out, lifting, breathing into lower. And I really like those two postures, I really like those. They do the job, you know, and they build you up so that if you want to take this posture, you feel very much ready for it. So the last one, which is, you know, you have longer levers, you've got to be careful that you don't swing the legs over, so maybe having something underneath your back like a block. We're breathing in to prepare, and as we breathe out, we're very slowly sending the legs upwards. Breathing in to take the legs to separate, and then breathing out to lower, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming back down and bring the legs together. Try not to swing the legs though, so you're breathing in, hands are on the floor to encourage you over, but not to send you over, I hope. Breathing in to separate the legs, and then breathing out. We slowly lower the body, back on down, and then legs together. Again, breathing in, breathing out to slowly send the legs up if you wish. Breathing in, taking the legs slightly apart, breathing out, slowly coming back down. All right, the last one here, breathing in and out. Breathing in, and then breathing out, slowly lower the body back down. Okay, bend your knees for me, and gently roll yourself over to your side again, nice and carefully. Now I'm going to work up again into the shoulders, so whatever you've got, okay, be it if, you can also do this with a towel, you know, or a sweater, or anything, in fact. You know, it doesn't have to be a band. What I need here, though, is for it to be quite long, particularly if this is a new thing for you. I know some of you have been doing this quite well with me over the last couple of weeks, so you've probably got a bit more experience of it now. My arms are going up, and you can kneel any way you like. Let me just cover that before we go. If you're kneeling, okay, try not to arch your back, okay? So pull in so that your belly, so kind of tuck your tailbone under. I say that because that's what I do all the time. I'm always just swinging out. We want the ribs to be down into the body. Okay, so here we go. The arms going up, nice open Y shape, and then we're going to go slightly back. And then draw it back over. Okay? So coming back, slightly back, and then don't hurt yourself. And we need to know that we can come back, you know? So you're going back as far as you can get back to. Now it will start to change, you know? Your body will start to respond to this. So if it's a good day, start to bring it back behind you. And then draw it back over. All right? But again, if it feels a little bit angsty, all right, or it feels like you're getting almost stuck, then give yourself a little bit more leeway on your band today. All right, like I say, it's going to change. You will be able to make it shorter. Okay, now I'm going to go in another direction. I'm going to put the band on a diagonal. I'm going to sweep it back around the head, all the way back round, arms stay straight, and we're coming around the other side. And then we'll take it back, all the way back, arms stay straight, and it's coming back round to the front. And again, taking it back, all the way back round, and back in. All right, and like I say, something like this, if you do this a couple of times a day, all right, just every so often, maybe leave your band on the stairs or something like that, okay? And then every time you go past it, just do a couple of them. And that's the way it will change. And you'll be able to change it without overdoing it. That's it. And you sometimes find one arm is a little bit stubborn and it wants to keep bending. All right, but honestly, bear with, and it will change. One more. And bring it on back. Okay. Now I'm just going to come in, actually come around to a seated position that again works for you. So if you're happy where you are, then stay. If you want to come around to cross leg, then do. I'm going to bring it across into eagle. So I'm going to take it into rear shoulder stretch first. Right arm coming up, left arm coming up underneath. If that's enough, stay, or we fold the arms up. If that's enough, stay. If we can go further, wrap your hand around the wrist and then take both of your arms up. Now I'm hoping it doesn't feel too intense because of the shoulder stretch that we've just done. Hopefully it's making a bit of a difference already. And then release it back down. Take the arm across, and again, gently encourage it over. Bend the arms up a little, so it could be that you're back to back with your hands. That would be fine. If you go further, you reach around for the base of your thumb, and then you come up. Releasing it back down again. Okay, now can we just take the right leg over the left? Good. Now this might be enough, in which case don't worry about that left leg, but if it's normal for you, hop it underneath you. Then taking your left arm to your right knee, hug the knee in and look over your right shoulder. Any other variation that you work with here, be it it's half breath, or be it that you find a bind, go for it. Gently bring it back around. Let's bend up your left leg. Take your left over your right. And if you want to, you're hopping that foot underneath. If you don't want to, keep it straight. Draw across. Your right arm to your left knee. Look over your shoulder. And then any other variation that you took on the other side. Gently bring it back around. Okay, again, seated position of your choice. I'm going to bring the hands back behind. I'm going to clasp the fingers together behind your back. Rolling open your shoulders. And we'll bring the head forwards and downwards towards the floor. So you feel the stretch along the back of your neck. tucking your chin to one side, as if you're looking down into the corner of your body. And then head through to the middle and across and over to the other side. Through to the middle, raising the head up, and then just lowering one ear down towards one shoulder. And then going the other way. Bring the head back on up. Okay, and finally, just give yourself a little bit of a stretch across the upper back. Round the arms as far forwards as you can. As you breathe in, raise both of your arms up. And then breathing out, open and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And again, let's go the other way. Wrap the arms forwards, tuck the head in. Breathing in, use your abdominals to pull you up. Breathing out, open, and squeeze the shoulder blades together. One more time. Wrapping your arms forwards. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out, opening it back and wide. Relax out your shoulders. We are all finished for tonight. Very well done. I hope you feel well. I hope you feel good. Please drink some water.